Most people don't know, but my parents are diplomats, working for Wisma Putra. So from the age of 5 until all the way to 16, I was living abroad. I was living in Jordan, Venezuela, Algeria, Paris, Italy. Came back here when I was 15. Graduated from ISKL, International School of Kuala Lumpur in Ampang. Did my IB there, International Baccalaureate. I was a nerd, 3.8 GPA. And because my dad worked for the government, they were willing to sponsor my whole degree. Anywhere I want, anywhere in the world, I can just pick a location and just study there. But I fell in love with music, rap music, and then I told my parents that I was not going to study anymore. I was going to rap, and to their dismay, I just ran away from home. I called my friend DJ Nasty, so I was going, places with my. I didn't have a home in Malaysia, so I ran away from home, stole 200 ringgit from my dad's wallet, and just left. I stayed in Subang with DJ Nasty, then kept Farid for a bit, and basically moved houses to pursue my music career. And then being broke taught me how to look for money. So that is at the age of 16, 17 is when I really sort of had to find ways to make money. So that was the beginning of like my sense of entrepreneurship, I guess, in a way, because I had to find money. So that sort of became part of my DNA to always look for money no matter what happens. So that was the beginning of my music career. And thankfully, my music career did take off. After a few singles, we had 7 #1 singles on the radio. And then I was performing at Convent Bukit Nanas one day because I had a campaign, an anti-bully campaign called Watlek, Watpeace. It was part of my single that was hot on Hot FM. And then one day I was performing at Convent Bukit Nanas and I just froze because every single kid in the auditorium, they were 11, 12, 13, they were all recording my performance. And I froze, I jammed. The reason why I jammed is I was like, man, they're 11, 12, 13. When I was 11, 12, 13, I had a Nokia Butterfly, right? The best thing we can do is play Snake, right? Since that day at that school, I no longer call this a smartphone. I don't call this a smartphone, I call this power. I call this Quasta. Why do I call it power? It's because when I was 11, 12, 13, I had a Nokia Butterfly. The best thing I can do is play Snake. But a kid who's 11, 12, 13, he don't have Snake. He has Google, he has Facebook, he has Instagram, he has YouTube. So right now, a kid can tweet, kawan I gemuk hodoh. My friend is fat and ugly, right? And then he can tweet, confirm someone's feelings would have been hurt, right? Tell me that's not power given to a 12-year-old. Tell me that's not power given to an 11-year-old. So I froze because I'm like, man, they don't have any idea that in their hands, they have the power to do something really bad or something really, really good. So I told myself since that day, I had to find a way to get into their heads and then get into their phones. So I ventured into my first IT company, but that was the beginning of my whole jihad in education. From that day onwards, it was all about how do I build cool things so that kids will always look for knowledge and information, and how do I create cool things so that they can change their lives and people around them. And when the term role model being used on social media or the press, I don't like it. I'm like, listen, I didn't plan it to be this way. It just happened. But if what I'm doing makes you happy, then I'm happy for you.
Watlek, Watlek, Watpeace, I say Watlek, Watpeace, Watlek, Watlek, Watpeace, I say Watlek.
First of all, the song came about when me and my friends, all my songs are organic, meaning I don't go to a studio, and Rohit can vouch for me. I can never be put into a studio to make a song. It has to happen naturally. Yeah, so I was stuck in a jam, traffic jam with my friends, and then I was just humming, Watlek, Watpeace, Watlek, Watlek, Watpeace, I say Watlek. And then suddenly my friends at the back like, yo, that's pretty catchy, that should be a hook. So I called my producer in Tamanton and said, hey, can I go to the studio real quick? I just want to put this hook behind some music and see what happens. That night, the song was done immediately. The next day, I just took one picture, did like this on Instagram. Hey guys, Watlek, Watpeace, let's stop bullying. Because I used to be bullied when I was in school. Being the Asian kid in an international school, you get picked on easily. Because everyone else is big and buff and whatnot. You're the Asian kid, the nerd. So I used to get bullied when I was in school. So I just took one picture on Instagram. That one picture, it just went viral. Every single kid that believed in anti-bully took a picture, hey, Watlek, Watpeace, let's stop bullying. Teachers were doing it. Celebrities were taking pictures by themselves and tagging me and with the hashtag Watlek, Watpeace. Then celebrities were doing it, ministers were doing it, and it just went viral. Just from 10 pictures, it became 5,000 pictures, became 10,000 pictures, and then it became a movement. And from there, schools invited me to talk, perform. Yeah. If you look at the origination of hip-hop music, it's always been sort of, I won't say rebellious, but a form of expression. You express yourself. And something that I really gravitated towards in hip-hop music was when I look at Jay-Z or Eminem, their life stories, how they started from drug dealers or gangsters and how they evolved to become businessmen owning multi-million-dollar businesses. That sort of influenced me to be like, wow, you know, that's sort of what I wanna, that's what I wanna do, and that's what I wanna become. I wanna be able to like go from a really crap situation into a better life. Good question. Well, if you asked me 5 years ago when I first started my mobile learning platform, Jiffy and then Classroom, it was to give access to great tutors to the rest of the country. Maybe the tutors that exist only in KL, there's really good tutors. But now through my system, the whole country can learn with those awesome teachers. But now if you ask me, I think education has to evolve quickly. We can no longer use the traditional ways of teaching, whatever subjects. Jack Ma was at an economic forum recently, and he made a really cool speech where he said, in the next 30 years, robots will take over most of our jobs, right? So we can never compete with the robots, even though we made the robots, but we cannot compete with them in terms of math and analytics and whatnot. They will be better than us. So what we should strive for in schools is teach kids more about humanity, bring back the humanity into education so that we will always be a few steps ahead of the robots, because robots don't have feelings and whatnot. Therefore, that was a pretty cool speech, and I sort of revised sort of my vision towards e-learning to be more towards humanity, sort of humanity-based curriculum, and just how to become a good human being. When we launched Classroom.com, we noticed it was the most viral in Johor. And at that time, Iskandar Johor, they sort of planned the landscape of Johor. They wanted to bring me to the Masjid Besar of Johor, so they brought me to him. I showed him what I built and how it's picking up in his own state. He liked it a lot. He brought it up to the Johor Corporation, which you know is a public listed company. They own Caprice hospitals, KFC, Pizza Hut, and a bunch of other companies. But they liked it, and then they said, you know what, we're gonna buy over the whole company. So they bought it for 2.5. There you go, and that was it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much.